Over 16 billion accounts leaked. You might be next.
Passwords are fading. Passkeys are the future.
AI now sorts evidence at scale, instantly.
So what happens after your data gets snatched in one of those massive breaches? You know, the ones we hear about all the time. Well, it doesn't just disappear. It creates this ghost in the machine. A problem so messy, so chaotic, it's actually created a multi-billion-dollar cleanup industry. Let's dive into this $25 billion problem. 86 million. No, that's not a company's revenue. That's the number of people whose AT&T records were just found floating around on the dark web. And we're not just talking about usernames here. We are talking social security numbers, addresses, literally the keys to your entire digital life. The scale of this is just mind-boggling. All right, let's just get this out of the way. Our data is leaking constantly. But now we're dealing with something new, something weirder. They're calling it a zombie breach. This isn't a fresh attack. It's an old one that just refuses to die. And every time it comes back, it's a little stronger and a whole lot more dangerous.
Look at this AT&T leak. It wasn't just one bad day. It was a total slow burn disaster. The data was first stolen way back in 2021. Then it just sat there, festering in the shadows for almost 3 years before getting dumped online for everyone to see in March 2024. And the crazy part? The threat is still evolving. This data can be repackaged, combined with other leaks, and enhanced, making it an even bigger problem down the road. Your data has this long, kind of terrifying afterlife.
And what exactly is in that afterlife? Pretty much everything. This wasn't some simple list of emails. We're talking full names, dates of birth, physical addresses, and get this, nearly 44 million social security numbers just sitting there in plain text. It's basically a pre-packaged identity theft kit for millions and millions of people. So that leads to the really big question, right? When you're staring at petabytes of stolen, sensitive, legally critical data, where do you even start? How in the world do you begin to clean up a digital mess this massive and find the truth in all that chaos?
Well, believe it or not, an entire industry was born out of exactly this kind of chaos. It's the multi-billion-dollar cleanup crew for our digital world. And let me tell you, it is absolutely booming. The official term for it is e-discovery. It's all about finding that digital needle in a planet-sized haystack of data. Basically, you can think of these guys as the forensic experts or the digital CSI team that gets called in after a huge disaster. They're the digital cleanup crew.
And this cleanup is big business. I mean, really big. The e-discovery market is already worth almost $17 billion today. And in just 5 years, it's projected to explode to over $25 billion. And why is that? Well, because every data leak, every corporate lawsuit, every single government investigation, it all just fuels this incredible growth. But here's where the story takes a massive turn. This isn't just an industry of people sitting in rooms manually clicking through documents anymore. Oh no, AI is storming the castle, and it is completely rewriting the rules of the game. Just how big of a change are we talking about? Well, follow the money. Manual review, the super expensive human-powered part, is actually shrinking. It's going from 64% of the cost down to 52%. And all that spending, it's shifting directly over to the tech side, collecting and processing data with these incredibly powerful new AI tools. And it's not just how the work gets done that's changing, it's where. The whole operation is moving out of the old-school server room and straight into the cloud. By 2029, almost 80% of all e-discovery work will be cloud-based. This is a massive migration, and it's making the entire process faster, bigger, and way more accessible than ever before. So why the huge rush to the cloud? It's actually pretty simple. It gives you insane scalability for these giant data sets without needing a whole data center. It makes secure remote work possible. And, most importantly, it's the playground where all the cutting-edge AI tools are actually being built and deployed.
Okay, so we've got a booming, tech-driven, $25 billion industry. Sounds like everything's perfect, right? Well, not quite. If you scratch beneath the surface, you find this really strange paradox of confidence, cost, and a whole lot of confusion.
So, on one hand, the people who are actually in the industry feel pretty good about things. The latest business confidence survey shows that most of them describe conditions as good or normal. There's this general vibe of stability, some cautious optimism. So far, so good. And that just brings up a fascinating question, doesn't it? If business is good and the market is growing like a weed, what could possibly be the single biggest challenge that these professionals are worried about? What's the one thing keeping them up at night?
The answer, and this is kind of shocking, is money. Budgetary constraints. Even in a booming $25 billion market, the number one challenge is cost. It's this classic paradox. You've got this explosive growth that is just running headfirst into the wall of trying to control costs.
And you can see that paradox playing out perfectly right here. On one side, you have this rocket-fueled AI adoption. More than half of organizations are already deploying these tools. But on the other side, total confusion. Over 50% of these same companies admit they don't even know how to price their new AI services yet. The technology is just moving way faster than the business models can keep up.
Okay. So why should any of us care about the internal drama of some niche tech industry? Well, because what's happening in eDiscovery right now, it's a preview. It's a sneak peek of what's coming for every single knowledge-based job on the entire planet.
So let's just boil this all down. 3 crucial takeaways. First, once your data is leaked, it's out there forever. And these zombie breaches mean the threat never really dies. Second, a massive, super sophisticated industry has been built to manage all this digital chaos. And third, and this is the big one, the changes happening in that industry, the crazy fast AI adoption, the pricing confusion, the shifting roles, that's the blueprint for the future of all knowledge work. And that leaves us with one final, really big thought to chew on. We're building technology that can sift through billions of documents to find the truth in seconds. So, when that technology is perfected, what does that mean for us? What's the new role for human expertise, for our intuition, and for our judgment? That's the question we all need to start thinking about.
Like, subscribe, and share to Astra's House. Thanks for watching.